But has anybody else had any situations with friends where you had to, so I was pretty much taken advantage of. Hey, you want to tell your story?
Oh.
Sure?
No, but I have had
Tragic.
situations with friends recently as well.
Oh, recently?
Yeah.
We're going to say no names and no addresses.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know what? All I will say is, friends are not friends. Just always trust your intuition about people and their motives. That's all. And I'll leave it there.
See, one of my issues was when you're friends with somebody for a long time, and this is me, this is my little fault or whatever, you see how they move with other people. Mm-hmm. But I'm cool with it till you try to move that way with me. Now, the downside to that is a lot of times they don't think you're going to do anything because you never had to move that way. Mm-hmm. And I always say, I've said for years since I was a young man, don't kick a sleeping dog. Don't bring somebody, to that one part of them that they don't even, you know what I mean? Mm. And if you don't do anything, like somebody's taking advantage of you because of a friend, they're your friend, that's where it goes. That's what happens. They channel that thing in you, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That they never seen or that they forgot. That you might have put away like 30 years ago. But no, so that was.
I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
Yeah, man. It was a lot. It was adding up. I don't think the phone will ring this set. I think Randy.
It's funny. I did just have a conversation about this with somebody I know, and Maya Angelou always comes to my head. Someone shows you who they are, believe them. Mm-hmm. And when you see certain things that they're doing with other people, at some point it's coming to you.
You're right.
It is. It's coming. We have a certain thought, and then we have expectations. Expectations, I always say, are absolutely horrible. Because when I expect something from you and then I get betrayed, then I'm mad. But you've already shown me very clear where you are. Mm-hmm. I just didn't expect you to do it to me.
So do we not see our friends for who they really are because they're our friends?
I think so. I think we try to give the benefit of the doubt, and we try to be nice because there are some good points, and we say, oh, there's some good points here. This is good. But sometimes that negative side may show up, and then it's like, okay, what do I do from here? Do I keep dealing with you? This is good, outweigh the bad. It's kind of like you got to pick and choose your battles. You got to decide what you're willing to tolerate. I know me at this age, there's not too much I can tolerate. So I mean, you get to a certain point when you're young, you're goofy, you're playing, you're this, that, and the other. When you get older, you get more serious, and you try to figure out what is better for me right now. What can I handle? What can I deal with? Where I'm going, and sometimes where you're going, everybody can't come with you either.
So do we not see our friends for who they really are because they're our friends?
I think so. I think we try to give the benefit of the doubt, and we try to be nice because there are some good points, and we say, oh, there's some good points here. This is good. But sometimes that negative side may show up, and then it's like, okay, what do I do from here? Do I keep dealing with you? This is good, outweigh the bad. It's kind of like you got to pick and choose your battles. You got to decide what you're willing to tolerate. I know me at this age, there's not too much I can tolerate. So I mean, you get to a certain point when you're young, you're goofy, you're playing, you're this, that, and the other. When you get older, you get more serious, and you try to figure out what is better for me right now. What can I handle? What can I deal with? Where I'm going, and sometimes where you're going, everybody can't come with you either.
Mm-hmm.
But you hit that right on the head because I always say that, and that's from the church that I heard it. Mm-hmm. I say everybody can't come with you, and everybody's not trying to go where you're trying to go. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where the issue came for me. When you're friends with somebody, you're just friends. When you're trying to do something or you're trying to get involved with business and you're trying to take something somewhere, that's when you find out certain people are just too much weight, and you've given them too much credit. Mm-hmm. Like you say, you already know. Mm-hmm. From the beginning, you know. Mm-hmm. But this is somebody you've known, you might even gone to school with them or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I knew. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna lie, I knew. But But I guess they see that as too, this person won't do anything because we got this bond.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've seen dogs bite their owner.
Yeah. I think sometimes we expect ourselves from other people instead of knowing that they are who they are. I can't expect them to act the way I would act. They're exactly the person that they are.
Do you think, like me, that if somebody's known you for years, that they should take on some of your positive traits, and then you come to find out that that's just not in them?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they've seen you do all these things. They've seen your hustle. They've seen you try to take care of people and help people and feed people, and it's still just not in them. That is just not who they are.
They like it. They like being around it.
Yeah,
They're not going to change to be it. It's not in them.
and that's what happens. You figure at some point this person, and that must be a hell of a friend that you could, bounce off of. But that's always been one of my things. When you're with somebody all the time for years, and you've never taken on any of their positive characteristics, what you thinking, John?
I'm just listening. I mean, I'm not going to speak too much on, what happened between, long time friendship. Like I said, I came into y'all's relationship with many years removed of knowing all the things that y'all have been in. So, I feel like if it's something that serious that would, bust y'all up after all that time, then I feel, I feel bad for y'all. I'm sorry that happened. You know what I'm saying? Because long friendships don't come around for that often. We know a lot of people from school, but we don't tell a lot of people from school, our personal lives. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, we find them on Facebook and we add them. We you ain't go to this school if you remember this, blah blah blah. But very few of them are the ones that expect to be there. When things get rough or whatever, what have you, or can share a lot of personal stories with you. So I just look at it and I say, hey, I'm sorry, and I hope brother's good, and whatever it is, and happened between y'all. I hope it doesn't define all those years. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is, man.
See, I'm somebody too. Like, I move a certain way, but I think that's what people today. So my new term is grandfathered friends. And what I mean by that is,
Friends.
I just made this up. Don't let nobody steal from me. Let nobody take it.
Copyright that.
I'm
Copyright that.
gonna let you explain that while I chew on this buffalo wrap.
What it means is friends that you've had in your life for a long time, even when maybe you were a different person or a different place in your life. You know what I mean? And so, let's say it's a situation where you're young and now you're grown. This person is still your friend because they were your friend when you were younger. Which leads me to ask you guys a question. The friends you have now, if you met them today, would they still be your friend?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you think of one that isn't? See, my situation was, I use this term on other people. I never really use it on myself. But for me, I do understand what that term actually means. It means you met a person in a certain place at a certain time. You were who you were. They were who they were. Now, over time, you're different people. And even though you don't see yourself in them, or there's not that connection, they're not doing what you're doing, they don't hustle the way you hustle, everything is the opposite. But because this is your friend, this person is grandfathered in. And that could get you in trouble.
Grew apart, basically. That's what you're
Grew
saying.
apart, they're just two different people. And sometimes, if you're too different, that could create jealousy.
I think there's still different, maybe categories as friends.
Yeah.
Some people you can still have the best friend. You can have the person that becomes the associate. We see each other each other every now and then. You have the one that we may talk here and there. We may, because your life is busy, my life is busy, but we're still keeping up. So I guess depending on what category you kind of put them in can determine what type of friend, or if they're still if they still remain your friends or you still keep them or hold on to them. Because I still have friends from years.
That's what I'm saying.
years,
So those
but-
people are like grandfathered in.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Or in your case, grandmothered in.
grandmother. Yes.
You know what I mean? So, and then my thing is, I never had a problem with the friend who people say that you're carrying, so to speak. What comes to mind is like Morris Day and Jerome. Who else? Like Batman and Robin. You know what I mean? Y'all know Batman was carrying Robin. You know what I mean? Now, come on now. You know what I mean?
Hilarious.
So that's what comes to mind, and that don't really bother me to a certain degree. But then at a certain point, that person has to respect the fact that, like, here I'll tell you what I heard not too long ago. They said there's nothing wrong with being second. Like everybody got to play their role. Everybody ain't gonna be at a certain point in life. And like you might have grew up with somebody, and now you're in one plateau, they're in another one. Ain't nothing wrong with accepting the fact that you're second.
Right.
You know what I mean? But don't disrespect number one, because number one been cool with you when y'all was both, when that stuff didn't matter.
Right.
Being seconds and can always be good because when you walking along that little path and the cliff come, at least the second person can tell the rest of the people like, hey yo, there's a cliff right here.
The second one give a full
The
description.
first one,
You know?
thank goodness for the second one.
So that's that. It's unfortunate, but we grow. I always try to move forward, so I got to move forward. I got to keep going.
No way back, huh? No way back.
No way back. And that's the thing about that type of friend. You always hope that type of friend tries to catch up with you, or at least stay with you. You know what I mean? As you know what I mean? But that's not who they are. You asking something of them that they can't be.
Right.
You know, they can't. That's you. That's not them.
Yeah, because they're good where they are.
You know what I mean?
Fine.
They're cool, as we like to say.
Well, where do we go from here?
Forward. All right, what's that next one? Let's see. Cause y'all too low key. I gotta come up with something. I gotta mix it up. All right, I'm gonna give you a fun one, and then I'll go back to another sad one. If you could bring a group or a band back today, but have them as a new group or band, they can't have the hits that they. I mean, they don't have the hits that they have, but they just started now.
Somebody who hasn't been doing anything.
Well, no. It could be somebody like Earth, Wind, and Fire, but they got to come back 2003 as a new band.
And do the music they do now?
Yes.
Oh, geez.
Yes.
How are we doing?
How would you feel that's the way of the world now?
And they have to be like the age they would be right now, not the age they were back then.
They got to be the age that they started. So Stevie Wonder would be little Stevie Wonder. He'd be a little guy with a little suit jacket on and dark sunglasses with a harmonica, singing "Say Yeah."
Just saying group, not just
Or group
artist.
or artist, because everybody, yeah. I know you wouldn't bring Tina Marie back. We're not gonna.
I would. Start with her.
I'm in a different age group. I'm bringing back Jodeci.
But Tina
I'm glad I
Marie,
got food in my
man.
mouth right now.
but Tina Marie could, as a new artist, I think could make it.
I
Now,
think so too.
Tina Marie, but she was brand new. She was brand new. No? Anybody else know?
I don't understand the hatred.
If anybody else
here.
know?
I really don't understand the hatred.
What would the jam be? Let's see here.
If Square Biz was released,
Dear
tomorrow
lover,
morning.
no, Dear Lover. is her
the
best.
Lover's gonna be the one?
Dear Lover is her best to me. You know,
John,
Dear Lover was
tomorrow,
hitting. You know
on
Dear
your way
Lover
to
was
work,
Look,
if Square Biz came on, first time you ever heard the song.
who does that? What's that? Where'd that come from?
Oh,
Or you heard this? Or you heard, wow.
Look, if I ain't gonna lie, if you want to torture me,
Well, who would you bring back?
if you want to torture me and
Who
bring
would you bring
back,
back as a new group?
that would be a good
I do not
one.
understand the
Lock
hatred.
me in the room with that. It could be bad.
Asia, who would you bring back? And you can't bring back Ja Rule.
Oh, I said I'm in a different age. I'm bringing Jodeci back.
You brought
You
back.
bring See, I think
bringing
Jodeci
Jodeci
would
back.
work.
No.
I think Jodeci would work as a new group today.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
They would.
Well,
If it was the old Jodeci though, not
Yeah,
not
If it was
not
a,
now.
If it was a
Yeah.
Forever My Lady Jodeci.
yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
I feel so bad for was it JoJo?
What happened with
He had
JoJo?
a stroke.
When was this?
You didn't see him on stage? I just
No.
sent you the video. He had a stroke and they actually brought him.
Oh, that's what that was. I didn't know he had a stroke. I thought they was bringing JoJo on stage.
No, he had a stroke, and so they were
Oh.
trying to get him to like sing with the rest of the group, and they were trying to hold on to him. But he had, yeah.
No,
Yeah, I
now
felt so
you've-
bad.
Now you've darkened the.
I'm sorry. When you mentioned it, that's the first thing I thought about because I didn't know what was happening. Nobody was really talking about it until this video just popped up with him being on stage, and they were holding on to him.
Who would you bring, Joe?
You know what? When I'm thinking about what's selling and what people are into, if you brought back like a new edition.
How about that
If you
cost?
brought back like a new edition, something like that, where you got your heart throbs, you're cool, everybody got their own little style, whatever it is. But I think that could probably make a comeback, man.
Mr. Telephone Man, or my
Ooh, Mr.
my secret.
Can you hear me now? That might be the song. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Who knows? But either way,
Yeah.
I think that might be her.
And they would
That might
love
be the-
Bob. They would love Bob as a young
Oh
dude.
man, yeah.
They would love Bob.
Yeah.
Bobby Brown.
I think the only reason why I didn't mention them is because they're still going and they're still making stuff for now. So that's probably why I didn't really mention them. And a lot of the kids still love them and still go crazy over them.
Yeah, I mean,
I still
Since
do.
the show.
baby, are they all together? I mean, do they all still perform together?
I'm going in April.
I might go to April too.
Yeah.
All right, so for me, I don't think they would do well, but I think it would give people something different. Zapp and Roger Troutman.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Definitely a
you
favorite.
can't feel that when you're
Well,
when you're on your computer
I
and
just played
you
them at something, so they kids about it.
Well, they hear that auto tune, they're like, wait, hold up.
no, because what's his
Zach.
name did it.
T-Pain.
T-Pain did it.
Well,
They would think he would.
what I'm saying
copying
is,
T-Pain.
but that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, they would like it because of that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they would hear that and they would be like, "There you go." You know what I'm saying?
like he sounds like T-Pain. Wouldn't that be something?
They might teach them something. Like, wait a minute. So this was something that's already been here. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the way down to your Air Force Ones.
Yeah.
So would no ice hit again?
I hope not.
What?
I mean, he has for real. Look how many white rappers there are right now. I don't even really listen to, but I mean,
like he would have to be like new, like tomorrow. He would have to drop tomorrow.
no, I don't think anybody wants to see a dancing white boy right now. I don't know if
I
anybody
think
wants
that
to
they
see
would use his beat, but that's about it. I think they would like the beat,
True.
Could Hammer
use it
come
to
back?
dance to.
You know what? I don't think. You know what? I don't. Ooh, Hammer. You said
Hammer-
Hammer.
Hammer gotta leave the pants. He gotta leave the pants behind.
But what if we never seen the pants and they're brand new?
Well, just think about it. He doesn't really have to know how to rap anymore. That's
True. That's
check.
in
That
his,
is true.
That's in his favor.
All he needs is a
Very good
hook.
point. This is
That's
true.
that's in his favor.
He does have hooks.
Doesn't need to make stories or rhymes.
And he
not
will bring
serious.
B Angie B.
That's my girl. They came before him. BNGB used to get it.
And he'll employ a lot of people.
And
Also, a lot of people-
357.
Yeah.
He'll bring jobs.
Big
That's
jobs. The big jobs.
Well, I can see Oaktown 357 coming back.
Oh man.
They should go, man.
He'll perform at
Basically
all the
in.
Primes games.
Up there in Colorado now.
We got to do it too legit to quit. Out there at halftime.
Man. But yeah, that's pretty interesting, huh? Who would actually be able to come back, like as a new artist?
I mean, there's like people are going into. like I'm noticing a lot of people are getting into like a lot of emo, like goth, especially our young people. Like they're into a lot of the dark stuff. So I mean, even like somebody who came back with their own style. I mean, like I'm not trying to keep pushing Prince out there, but he's just so uniquely like people. So many pockets of people listen to him that he could probably come back with some stuff.
Yeah, because he got so much stuff.
Yeah.
Like
we still ain't heard it all.
right. So you'll like something.
You're gonna find something.
Yeah. Who's kind of different? I'm trying to think of somebody that's kind of different. I mean, one of the things I think about the costumes. I don't know how all the costumes would play. I don't know if Parliament Funkadelic came back, how the diaper and everything would play.
It would work.
The music would work.
Think about it. How Nicki Minaj started, how, what was the other one? The wore the meat dress. Like, they just
Lady Gaga.
They do all this random stuff. So I think it would work because it's the gimmick. It's like, it gets them going. And people are intrigued. Like, what did he got on? What is he doing? And I think it would work for him.
Shoot, I think if we think of some rappers that we used to think were real cheese back in the day, they could probably come back.
I think
some real pretty like the real.
Shit, this is your time.
I'm saying.
But what about Young MC? Could Young MC come back?
Wow.
Well, I mean, if he's like a Pharrell kind of like because the thing is like Young MC he wrote so much music for like so many people. Like if it wasn't for like him, Tone Loc wouldn't have been around. For other people wouldn't have been around. And he was an alternate. He was also an alternate dude. Like remember his videos had like skaters and stuff in them. Like white boys, brothers skating. I'm like, wait, there's black people skating in this video? Who is this dude?
People still skating right now.
Yes, I mean that's a big thing. You see black folks skating like crazy. So
yeah, I think Funky Colt Medina would hit.
I was just thinking about him.
I think Funky Colt Medina would hit.
Tone Loc. That's it. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
I think that was still
LL could do it.
LL would still hit.
No.
LL would do it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What about the
I
Ghetto
would bring
Boys?
him back.
For sure.
Who?
The Ghetto Boys.
You
I
know,
mean, people still sitting alone in their 4-quarter room looking at candles. You know what I mean?
Bushwick might still be the hook on that one too. Like,
Yeah.
look at the dude, he's crazy.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh no.
But that's kind of wild to think about. Like, you know what I mean? Who would actually, as a new artist or new group, work? Oh, how would Rick James do?
You know what? I think
He'd have been canceled.
I think no. You're right.
He'd have got canceled the second he
You're
hit.
right.
He would have got canceled for his album. They'd be like,
right.
what are they doing? Oh my gosh.
That's true.
But the weed would hit. The weed would hit.
He need a new strain.
He said his stuff would be too weak now.
Yeah.
I guess it's funny when you think about like I guess the way we're kind of traveling right now, the way we're talking is like who are the people out there that are like a Snoop or somebody that has their own character that you get to know and learn and love. Like we've learned who Snoop was for a long time, and we get to see him and like his personality and so on and so forth away from like just talking about money and dumb stuff. Like you got a chance to learn who Snoop was. So it's kind of like I think those people are kind of like removed. Like if there's young people that people are following right now, other than like on Insta and their little posts and stuff, I guess that's what they're watching. But I don't think there's like a character like that anymore. It's gonna stand the test of time. Like I always say that. Who's gonna be that person that you're gonna be jamming to 30 years from now? That's playing right now.
That's a good question.
30 years from now.
I also think this generation though doesn't have the attention span for that. Like it's always the next.
And that's a great point. And I'm gonna take y'all back. I'm gonna always take y'all back.
That's scary.
To go to the record store,
Yeah.
getting either the album or the cassette or the CD, getting on the bus, reading the credits, liner notes.
But you weren't in the record store for 5 seconds. You were in the record store. You was in there for like a minute.
It was an experience.
Like you sat in there for about an hour.
It was an
You just
experience.
Walking.
Records and stuff,
Going
all
through.
you walking around, looking at everything. And then when you got home, if you didn't have a Walkman to play it on the bus, you listened to that whole record. You know what I mean? You was like, you listened to that whole record. It was like, like you said, they don't have the attention span. That's where the playlist came from. Because they don't have the attention span to listen to the whole album. I'm
think
gonna
unless-
go,
depending
I'm
on
gonna
who it
quickly
is,
pick
though.
what I want.
Because if it's Beyonce, they will listen to that whole thing.
That was that
That's
was
almost like a religious.
that was when Black folks said, you know what? Let's do something better. Let's just make a mixtape. We'll put on what we like.
Yeah.
We'll put on what we like.
And that's where that came from because, like you said, we would be up in the room, the door would be closed, everybody would be wondering what's wrong with us, and we'd be playing that Prince record, playing the whole thing. I remember my mother getting bootleg 8-tracks at the place she worked. And she would bring them home. Remember the 8-track player where you could put the 8-track in the cassette in the same hole?
Well, they had bootleg 8-track?
Oh yeah. We waited till after. Sorry. Sorry.
Tell us about those times.
Mr. Wizard.
Like, I've heard of bootleg CD. I ain't never got bootleg 8-track. That's why I'm like, what?
We would play. Here's how. Here, what you said. The short attention span. This is how tolerant of a society we were. The 8-track skipped in the middle of the song, and we were cool. We would wait for it to pick up where it left off. You know what I mean? Like now you'd be mad because the commercial's on a YouTube video or something.
Yeah.
See, it was never about quality. It was about quantity, as much you could get.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had 88.3, what that college channel was, and they had a hip hop show that came on. We ain't know what night. It just came on a certain night, and we could barely get it.
We was glued.
My radio had, I had this setup where I had my antenna that went up, but I also had this foil that like I turned a little bit, and if I put it just
And you
right,
were frustrated if you didn't get the.
and then you like you said, I go through my whole mixtape with everybody. They'll be jamming, going through, then it get a little foggy. Boom, we go right back. That was cool. That was cool though. It was okay.
But you're right. Those pirate radio stations.
We had most of the jam.
You had that
We had
dial,
most of it.
but you would try to get that dial to like the millimeter to try to get that sound. You know what I mean? And then if it went out, you like tried to move it a little bit more. You know what I mean? And then you like backed up.
And then you had cassette tape set ready to hit record so that you could catch a song.
Yep.
So you could be able to play it when you wanted to. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a different time, man. That was like,
You fought for your music.
You worked hard for
and
that.
they had the double albums and the double CDs, because they knew you would listen to all of it. You know what I mean? Now I don't know if they would, if they would be in one place.
Yeah.
But we knew who the producers were. We read all that.
Yep.
Who was on this?
We knew Luther was singing background. Before
I knew
Luther
so and so was on that. I knew that. I was like,
Michael Jackson appeared.
I used to pick. So music was so fresh back in the day, like when you used to use the term fresh, that I would just go through new artists, have no idea who they are, where they're from, read the titles, and be like, that sounds good. I'm getting that.
True
go.
story. I'm in Stanford's Records, and I see the Jodeci cassette, and dude was like, he said, this ain't really out yet. He said, it's out in the stores. He said, but it's not out. And I said, give it to me. And we riding around listening to Jodeci, right? People was like, what is this? What is this? And I told him, I said, Jodeci, that's all I knew. I didn't, everybody loved it. A year later, it broke, and everybody was like, you had that cassette a year before it came out. I said, 'cause I wanted to see what it sounded like. And then Forever My Lady, I think, was the first song.
Yep.
I was like, oh, this might be pretty good.
That's how it used to be
That
though.
whole thing.
Like Biggie, when Biggie came out,
Still have that cassette.
Still have it.
I do. I have that. I have the Brat.
oh
Okay.
man,
Subway.
Brat.
Well, Brett was Funkified.
Yeah,
that was
I
my
got
cut.
that one.
There was
Song,
there was
yeah.
a song on there that just man, that was-
Lauryn Hill. I still have a bunch of cassettes.
no, that was
But I hear they're trying to bring CDs and stuff back.
Well, Half Price Books actually has tapes.
See what I'm saying?
And I was shocked because my Brandon and my godson, we were out yesterday. And I said, Brandon, look, they got Journey, they got we're naming all these Chicago. I was like, look at the tapes. And my godson was like, what's that? I said, oh God, here we go.
Here we go.
We have to teach. We have to teach. Okay.
We got to
Let's
pin
show
him
them what
down.
this is. Yeah, it was crazy. It was like, because I wasn't ready. Me and Brenda are excited. And I wasn't even ready for him to say it. But yeah, they're pushing them in half-price books.
Yeah, I'll be that one person that'll be like, yeah, look what I did. I got these tapes. Isn't this fun? Then realize whatever I put in, I don't like any of the music. Until like maybe the last one on there, I got fast forwarded. Wait, okay. All right, here we go. All right, hold on, wait, it's almost there. Oh wait, I went too far. All right, hold on. I don't miss some days for real, but
Do you remember recording from the radio?
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All
And then
day.
sometimes the cassette was
Absolutely.
set up where you weren't supposed to be recording on it or recording over one you didn't like. So you had to get that little piece of tissue and shove it in the Yeah. Yep. You're like, I never really liked this album.
Yeah.
Or do you remember taking the cassette and breaking off the little things at the top so you could record it? Like you might have a group cassette, but you wanted to record over it. So the little square tabs at the top, you broke them, and then you could record over it. And I was really recording
I
on
need to
cassette.
work for that stuff.
We were smart back then.
Yeah, we was gonna get our music.
We understood how stuff worked.
Yeah.
We didn't just get it and play with it. We're like, wait, okay, so this goes through here. This was all right. So if this happens, we can just do this. That's engineering as a child.
Yeah, we was
That's
gonna
like
get
little
our
MacGyvers.
The worst day was when your cassette, you pull it out and all the stuff comes out. And you're like, man, I can't play that one.
But
So
you
put it-
tried to roll
No,
it. You tried to roll it back.
The worst part about that is when you hear it happening to the music as you're riding, like,
Yeah. And it was right at the good part.
Yep.
You had
It was
some
right when
good-
that beat drop.
Yeah.
oh.
You try to save it. You try
There
to
was some
save
type of
it.
remixes you taped, something you knew you could not get.
It'd be like surgery. You were like, oh, wait.
That's true because you didn't want to break it.
You break it, you're done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's how you get the tapes that skip.
And
You
that-
listening, you're like
Cut off. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
coming back.
You be jamming. That little crunchy part come up. Little crunchy part go back.
Sounded like too.
But you was bad if people came in your house and you had a component set. You just stood there proud looking at
Levels.
all them 5 pieces, and then the bottom had the albums.
Look,
You just stood there proud.
look. You would've- come on, Cat. You had that EQ rack. You was like, oh yeah, get on the bass. Oh,
Yeah,
the bass a little bit.
Yeah, the equalizer. He was like, I can turn this bass down a little bit.
Remember the one that was a sharp one, but it didn't have. It was like had components, but you couldn't take them apart. It was just all one.
Oh,
big
yeah, it was
thing.
all one
But it had that little glass open, like, oh yeah, you know what's up. The bigger the speakers were, the happier you were.
Oh
But
yeah.
that was so crazy because you had catalogs back then. And you're looking at the catalog, you see that component set, it might be like $400. That was like a lot of money. He was like, how am I gonna get $400?
Remember when Crushfield came out? You look at that thing like, oh
That's
my
still,
gosh,
Crutchfield is still around too.
oh my goodness.
Man, so I mean, there was some times, man. And then you get that layaway.
Not the 10 cassettes for a penny
All right.
in everybody's name.
Oh yeah, Columbia House.
Like 15, I figured that out back then. I was like, wait, well, how many of you? And look, I actually mailed the penny. I was like, I put a little penny. I was like, I sure did. And I got all my cassettes. I mean, I got all my CDs. I got them all. I got them all.
Oh, bro.
You couldn't tell me nothing.
Hilarious.
It was like, hey, you still gotta buy some? I was like, I know, whatever.
Well, no, the crazy part was, you know, if I send some CDs to your house, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you let me pick 2. We have 2 of the mugs. You have like 12 CDs come, you know, from Columbia House. And the mailman would deliver it even though it was somebody else's name on it. And he was just as happy as the person that was getting the other 9.
Who had a CD man? Who had a CD man?
Every barbershop.
Everybody had a CD man. Come on, man, you come in there with that box of CDs, you like, oh, let me see what you got, what you got, what you got, what you got. All right.
You know, they killed a lot of jobs with this with the streaming.
I'm saying.
They killed a lot of jobs.
I mean, Movie Man will come. You'll be like, man, I don't need that. I got that thing in high quality HD. Just came out an hour ago. Like, go ahead.
I only bought a bootleg DVD one time, right? It's a true story. I'm in my bedroom watching it, and I hear people. And I'm like looking around. It was in the theater.
You see people getting up?
Yeah.
They always get up. Anyone I've ever seen, someone got up.
If y'all don't be quiet while I'm up in this room scared now. You know what I mean? Just scared now because people in this room with me. It's your bootleg DVD, you cheap
You're still in
brother.
the theater with everybody else watching.
Man.
You can't control the people.
No.
Can't you see I'm trying to steal this movie here? I need y'all to sit.
And that was just hard for me to believe that somebody would actually do that. That they would actually sit in the theater and just tape it.
Yep.
And then dub it 54 times. However much money they needed.
But I was a quality person, though. I mean, even, like, sometimes I'll watch some things. I'll be like, now you know that there was a whole lot more that happened here. Like, this is a Lucas film. I can't even, there's nothing going on. People are skinny. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Come on. You gonna talk with this?
I got
The music is like, you can't hear nothing. Like, no, I just didn't even really go that route unless they said they were like stolen quality. Like, oh, this was stolen from the actual. Oh, okay, then that's cool. But
Oh yeah, man. There's some good times though.
Yeah.
they could at least do some funny commentary. That would be cool. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna talk, be funny on your bootleg video.
But that actually helped the dating world because a guy would be like, I'm a CD guy, or I'm a movie guy. A woman would be like, what? What? I can get free movies? What's your name? What your name is?
Some women.
Who you? Who you?
Some women.
Who you? Making $5 a movie?
Oh, no,
No, that ain't working for my mama.
look. But the CD man was kind of the CD man. The CD man was almost like, sometimes the CD man be like one step away from being Jerome. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Walk out.
Those in the house.
I got them movies.
It's true.
I got them new movies.
From the Himalayas.
Loving basketball.
Always loving basketball.
Yeah.
Always.
I got, you know, it's like, oh, you do? Yeah.
You can't call nobody.
I had a good CD dude though, man. They had good CDs, and I used to grab me a lot of them back in the day.
Remember they used to have any Liberty on their Davis shoes? They be all lined up.
Oh yeah, lined up on the street, right? And they would be different colors jackets to try to get your attention.
They make their own mixes.
Yep.
Yep.
This is what I did yesterday. Oh, nobody got this.
What kind of music you like?
Right. I got that. I'll get it for you. I'll get it for you. What you need? I got it for you.
Get two.
I'll be back tomorrow.
The BG days,
See, I grew up in
before
Florida,
gentrification.
so it was the booty music mixtapes that was out there. Yes.
Don't stop. Get.
And I never understood that the lyrics, like.
No, they weren't lyrics. It was just party lyrics. It was.
Yeah.
And something they talk about bass, booty, and or was there anything else? Is it a bass or booty?
What you cover bass and booty?
But drop that bass, shake that booty. That was pretty much the name.
Yeah.
It was a variant of that booty shake.
Yeah.
Booties that like to shake. Shake those booties. Booties like bass. Bass is for booty. You know, that was like, those are the titles of the songs. You know what I'm saying?
And that was all you needed. That was all all you needed.
Drop that booty, babe.
You know that
Drop that booty, babe. No, listen, drop that booty. You gotta say nothing. Drop that booty, babe. Drop that booty, babe.
Boom.
Four guys on stage say the same thing. Drop that booty, babe. That was a good show.
Oh man.
That's it. That's all you needed. That's all you
but
needed.
you know what's
TR-808.
funny? Is down there, even the ice cream trucks sound like that. It's
Wow.
like dun, 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 dun,
Oh
dun.
my
Remember down when you was little, we was going up the street.
Yes.
Like, what is that?
It's an ice cream truck.
The ice cream truck had
That's
bass.
wild.
The ice cream truck had bass.
It did. It's the truth.
Wow.
And you don't know whether to get ice cream or stop and shake it.
That's what I Crazy.
I don't know. That's that southern stuff. That's y'all like that bass. That's what I learned about bass. We went to the South. We ain't know nothing about bass up here.
No.
I went down there. They was just like, that's all we do down here, man.
Yeah, it's a whole
Just blow
different.
speakers out. That's all we do.
I said I met a couple people down south. Bo Leroy. Oh yeah, Bo Leroy.
Well, you got that Bolaroid.
Bo Leroy. Say,
You got that Bolaroid.
hey, John, want to come over to the house? Work on. We got some new kicker 16. I mean, kicker 15s. We're gonna put in the back. You want to come on over? We're gonna put them in today. You know, listen to that new NWA just came out. Got a lot of. I'm like, what? Y'all think I'm joking? That was some real stuff. I like that new NWA.
Now they got Bubba Sparks.
Oh, more
That was my
booty.
boy.
I found you. Listen to me.
Hey, when you talked about Vanilla Ice, they felt down south when Vanilla Ice came out. They just knew they have finally found. They almost tried to claim him as like a country rapper. I mean, they tried everything. They were like, "We have our rapper.
We have our guy.
We have our rapper."
We have our guy.
MC Search was a little bit too New Yorkish for me, but this guy right here
That's what was funny about that whole thing. I saw
Ass
people who
baby.
didn't even like rap music. White
loved
people.
it.
But they have Vanilla Ice shirts on, and I'm like, you don't even like rap.
You know what though? You know what though?
I like him.
That was you know what? Living in the burbs, man. I would bring rap music home to the white people. And I did. I was the plug. I was the plug. I was the plug.
Oh, you got that-
I would
you got that
come.
connect?
Look, I had the Bell Suver connect. I would go to Bell Suver. I would gather as much rap as I could, and take it back to Plum. Take it back to Plum. And put up all of the young white children.
You be standing out in front of a school.
I was sitting like, all right, come on in, Mark. Come on in, Nick. Let's go. Come on, get in here. Today, we're going to listen to something. It's called Lottie Dottie.
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's going to blow your mind. Put this on. Little white kids were getting into it so much, the teacher kept looking around like, what are they doing? What are they listening to?
Now you got 14-year-old.
Oh, she was so mad.
Naughty.
They were. No, what you had was a bunch of kids walking around recess going,
Oh yeah.
they're trying to beatbox. They're like, that's so cool. He's doing it with his mouth. Look, he's going like this. And their other kids are spitting all over the place. But yeah, I brought it all to the masses. I brought Easy E to the masses. It was. I had everybody in the back of the bus, just passing my headphones around, like, you have to hear this. You have to hear this.
Just cussing.
John, bring that again. I'm like, yeah, we'll see. Please bring this, please.
But here's the difference. Here's the major difference. When their parents open up the door and tell them to turn it down, and they tell them, get the hell out of here. The parents turn it off and shut the door. We get ready to break it. With the wing hand
But they would listen to it. But they had to listen to it quietly, because if you ask them now, they'll know. They listen to all that stuff. They just weren't allowed and didn't know. They were quiet with it. Even my parents, they saw that parental advisor. They were like, nope, can't have this. I'm like, it's iced tea. No. It's LL. No.
Dude, when that kid goes, get out, Mom. She shuts the door and leaves. Black mom, you tell her, get out, Mom.
It's a wrap.
I don't know.
You go ahead and sit this wig down. What this?
I don't know.
Hands up.
I don't know.
Whoop this butt real quick so I can get back to the Young and the Restless. See what's going on with Victor Newman in there.
choice, belt, shoe. What we're about to do here. Mm-hmm.
Man.
I don't know. Them white people when it came to black stuff, they got serious. That was about the one thing you would ever see them go nuts over. Like the kids can do whatever they want, but as soon as they talk about that's who you're bringing over here. That's when all belts don't come out of that. They just put them in a car and drive them away. You'll never see them again. Like, what happened to your child? Oh, we don't know. They ran away.
Now, see, you on to something, because I wasn't going to bring this up.
They sent them away.
But I think I'm going to bring this up now. I wasn't going to bring it up before. Probably because I have other drama, and this got pushed to the back. Because you're on to something. This is new. This just happened this week, okay? Co-worker of mine, who is white, has a 17-year-old daughter who's white. Her friend dates a black dude, okay? Mm-hmm. So they got this thing going on. I guess this time of year, what is it, the snowball?
Yeah. Different schools have, yeah.
So the friend wants to take the boyfriend to the snowball. Mm-hmm. But the friend's mom is like, no. But my co-worker's friend's daughter doesn't understand what the hell's going on. Like, so she's like, come to my mom's house and we'll sort this all out. So are we there and nobody told me? Or are we not there yet?
I guess it depends.
Because she don't understand the severity. She's 17. So she don't understand the severity of why mom is like, no brothers will escort my daughter to the snowball. Mm. Which we're like, oh yeah, we get it, we get it. But she's like, there's no way you're gonna do this to my friend. You know what I mean? And I'm like, are we there? We almost there? Not there?
Let me understand. So
that's a good question. Look at y'all.
No, I'm trying to understand it. So what you're saying is that the mother of like your friend is trying to like that woman is trying to like have, I guess, somebody like who's coming over to her house.
She's trying to be the savior.
Is it fair to call her a racist mom? Can we call, what do we want to call her?
Who's the racist mom?
Prejudice.
Well,
so we got prejudice woman whose daughter dates. We're going to create a new story. Prejudice woman.
Okay.
Whose daughter dates a black dude, and then my coworker who will be.
She ain't with that. She's like, nah, she should be.
No, but what do we call her? I need a name.
Savior. That's what I like.
Savior woman. So now, but the daughter's orchestrating this. The 17-year-old daughter in her mind's thinking,
so it's
if you come to my mom's house, you guys can iron this out.
Who could iron it out?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Who's on first?
Who's on first? Are we there?
So, I have more questions.
Go.
So, in ironing this out, because it is a dance, his family, as we do, will want to show up.
Well, you know we did a show.
Pictures.
You know we did a show called "Who's More Racist." John, you remember we did "Who's More Racist"?
I believe so. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So his family's going to want to show up, take all these pictures. Her family's going to want to be there, take pictures. So I'm not sure how we're going to sort this out. And
but this is from the mind of a 17-year-old. You see what I mean?
17-year-old doesn't know that many black parents. Then that's not the time to try to.
That's what I'm saying. So when you look at her being 17 and not understanding any of this, and one thing you left out is when we take photos at a snowball, a prom, it's a major event. You better back up. You better back up because we just got Junior a new suit.
And ain't nothing wrong with our babies ever, so you better not come with that.
And see, that's the thing. I'm like, wow, this is. And then my coworker's like, I can't believe she put this on me. And I'm like, well, because of how you raised her. You didn't raise her like, well, what do we call her? Prejudice mom? Prejudice mom tried to raise her, and it's obviously not working. It's not working.
Probably worked against her.
Yeah, she's rebellious.
And it usually does. It usually does. Especially when we're drafted to major sports, but that's another segment.
It's just when you experience the lie. You know, it's like, wait, I was told jar this, and this, and this, and now I see that's nothing like that. Y'all been lying to me all this time. You know, so that's it at that point. You know, but it's a different world. There's too much information now. There's too much out there. You can't lie to my kids anymore. Like, well, you know what? I saw this, so you're lying. Next thing you know.
Yeah, but and you wonder if it's a situation where it was something where we never acted like that, but now that it's real and now that it's come to fruition, it's like, now I gotta let you know how I really feel. But now, I don't even know if that's a good idea to do that now. Kids are different. The world is different. I worked with a guy that wasn't going to talk to his daughter for dating a black kid. And I was like, you're going to sacrifice your relationship with your daughter. You know what I mean? Over this. You know? And I'm like, wow. So this situation here, I'm trying to keep it close to the vest and find out what happened and how it plays out. But it's just funny, not funny, but you see a 17-year-old that's like, don't get it, you know what I mean? If she don't get it, she's like...
Does Savior Mom even know Prejudice Mom? Do they talk or they...
No, but and the 17-year-old's going to pit them together.
See, that's one of them things where you got, you know, kids got to know their place. Like that ain't ever going.
But they don't see.
And that's a different thing. Like this, there's too much. Like there's not even an idea in my mind where I'm gonna tell some grown ups to be like, okay, I'm gonna need y'all to work. Like they're gonna work it out. They've already worked it out. They've, you know.
That's how I got the story, because the story is like how she pit me up against this lady that I don't even know.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, now, well, and I'm gonna use that, by the way. Your Savior Mom. I'm using that.
Yeah.
Because of how her daughter's been raised, her daughter figures, you need to get with my mom, because my mom don't swing like that.
When honestly, it was none of their business.
And that's how it got to me, because I'm black. And it was kind of like, what do I do? You're the right representative. So it's like, what do I do?
I mean, because it's a funny thing. I mean, it's easy as a parent to just say, well, look, that's what they do in their household. I can't speak on that. You know what I'm saying? I have nothing to do with that. I'm not here to tell anybody's parents. You know, you can do what you want. You know what I'm saying? But that's some people.
And it wouldn't even jive with us how. I don't know if there ever is going to be a knock at the door, but it wouldn't even jive with us how there's a knock at the door, and it's like, hi, who are you? You know, and it's like, well, why are you here with this? You know what I mean? This ain't our thing. But I just thought it was so interesting that the 17-year-old is like, doesn't get it, doesn't understand where the friction comes from, doesn't, you know what I mean? And is going to play Don King and book this bout between these two white women who obviously have different ideologies and beliefs and feelings.
And that's the weird part. I've met people like her who had this goal in mind for peacemaking, and they don't understand that there's certain things that you just cannot do or you should not be interfering in. And I've had conversations with, okay, you did your part, now you maybe should let it go. No, but this has to happen. This has to be, and I'm going to get this person, I'm going to get that person. You know, it's kind of like in relation to the Karens of the world, and the, you know, how they just determination. I have to fix this. I have to. It's on me now. And it's like, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. Right. But they can't get that. They can't understand that part.
And now a 17-year-old is almost like a 24-year-old because of how the liberties, everything that they've been given as opposed to what we were given. You know what I mean? Like, hell, I'm supposed to go out from in front of my house. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. They're all over the city. So now you've got to, I don't want to say you put her in a position as an adult, but you put her in a position where she feels comfortable enough to book this fight. Whatever it's called. Right. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. She feels comfortable enough to book
to the show because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's something that's going to happen.
And granted, I get that's her friend and she wants to defend her friend. I do. But you pitting these two moms, this Republican and this Democrat, to go toe to toe. It's gonna be January 6th all over again. You know.
Yep.
But I just thought that was so interesting to me. I was like, wow. You know, we there yet? We're 17-year-old. It's like, yo.
Well, no. If anything, that's just for, you know, your friend to basically just understand what's really still out there and what young, you know, what black people still have to deal with. when it comes to even wanting to date or be with somebody that they care about, or whatever it is. That there are still white people out there who say no, and
or that fact that she tried to be cool up until we got to time to take her to the snowball. It was cool if you his dude or if you didn't know about dude.
So they're saying okay, so I didn't hear that part. So all this time they've been cool
or been pretending probably to be cool.
Until
now the snowball, like you said, is a major event. We're coming, we're taking pictures. You know what I mean? Black folks, we pulled up in the SUV. You know what I mean? Girl's coming. He got his camera.
Did they mention anything about his character at all? Or they? I mean, is he a good? Is he good? Is he somebody I would let my daughter?
He's a good dude.
That's what I'm thinking.
What I know, he's a good dude, and it was never a question of his character. It was a question of his color.
Okay. Well.
But I thought it was good that the 17-year-old was like, I'm gonna try to do something about this, even though I thought that was the right thing to do. But she was like, I'm gonna abolish racism by myself.
Right, so.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take all this history.
You with me, Mom?
I'm gonna take this history. I'm trying to do with me.
Because I'm determined to fix this, and now you're in it too. Let's go.
We're gonna abolish this.
Is that it probably isn't necessarily prejudiced mom who feels the way she feels. It's her worrying about how everybody else is going to feel about it. Because if initially she was okay with it until it's time for the snowball and pictures being taken,
how are they going to treat my daughter?
She's more concerned about the racist grandparents probably, and like.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, let's be honest though.
Is she also? Let me ask you this: where is this? Okay, because I mean, you keep bringing that. You're actually making me think about some things. Like, is it dangerous for them to go out and together at this party, depending on where they are? Because I can honestly say, I mean, there's not saying it's like that at all, but of course that's my background as far as being in a place where it was kind of like it was a danger to do that. It was a danger to go to school.
But his homies are probably there too and everything. Like it's more common now than when we were younger.
I'm just saying. I mean, if it's a home, even in that situation, man, like white people are real interesting. Like you find out who they are when it comes. I mean, anybody, but still white people, you find out who they are when something goes down.
But they could stop it back then, and you know how they could stop it? I watch Dateline every week. The Inheritance. Please don't let me have to kill you about this life insurance. Now, these kids are different. They don't care about the inheritance. They don't care about the life insurance. Duga or whatever the brother's name is. That's what they want. See, here's the thing nobody talks about. I'm going to talk about this, and I don't give a shit. Let's go back to when we were younger. And let's look at the images of us on TV most of the time. The majority of the time, if the news wasn't on, you really didn't see us that much. If we weren't being escorted and didn't have the walk of shame and all this other stuff, and then in movies and things of that nature, we were pimps, we were very seldom doctors and all that. Now, B-17 today. Unfortunately, it's mostly entertainment, but still, entertainment has a major influence. So now you're looking at, here, you watch the NBA All-Star game. We're filled, we're packed. Here, I was watching comedians in cars getting coffee, right? They show Tracy Morgan's house. They show Chris Rock's house. A couple other people's homes. And back then, they would have never showed that. You would have never saw. If a brother was living in a mansion like that, you would have never saw it. That was like, so your view of us, to a larger degree, is different. Yeah, we're still doing the shootings and stuff like that, but we're also doing a lot of other things. And we have what appears to be a lot more. Even though a lot of, talk about athletes and stuff like that, even though a high percentage of them go bankrupt and all that other stuff. But I'm just saying, when you really look at how, here, I'll break it like this for anybody that might be confused. Our rappers had clothes, cars, and chains. These rappers have mansions. I mean, in some of the videos it may not be theirs, but what you're seeing visually, you're seeing mansions, you're seeing Rolls Royces, Bentleys. I was a grown man when I knew what a Bentley was. And I'm going to be honest with you, it wasn't that long ago. I mean, like maybe 10 years ago. So now you're seeing a young person, the Rolls Royce and Bentley, they're showing how these guys, the young rappers and stuff fly. and this and that and all that. So that if you're 17, you could look at us differently. You could look at us like we must be living
See, I would
until
argue.
we get pulled over. Of course.
I would argue that some things that have happened politically and otherwise have caused more racial division.
But I mean, like, I think you focus on what you want. I think, like you're saying, we know what's real. But I think if you're fixated, like, here, I'll give you an example. I'm going to say this. This is a bad thing to say, but it's true. Because of social media and IG and all this other stuff, you know it's breeding more hoes than we've ever seen in our life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
The aspiration to just that your butt is who you are and this is what you have to give to the world. And you're young. You haven't really thought, like, maybe if I use my brain. Because you know, you go on IG
It's a booty feed.
and the pervs spend money. They spend money. So now you got young women who are just like, forget about, my parents are talking about college. I could go on IG,
No, that's
lift
true.
my shirt up.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying?
true.
So the game is so different than what.
Yeah.
Those
And
are
we
our
have,
goals.
and that's what we have to look at. We always have to remind ourselves that it's a different game than what we grew up with. Because, and then you also have, like I said, we've always had women who got pregnant by ball players and stuff like that. But now it's a goal. It's actually to the point where it should be taught at Harvard. You know what I'm saying? Because people are specializing in you know what I'm saying? And then when you have one, somebody sits you down and say, you know what? If you could get him to come home drunk again and drop another $2 million on you, have another kid, it doubles.
It's insane, but you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then what happens is, look at y'all know what I'm talking about. And then what happens is too, I see women who get frustrated because now you're entering that age where it's harder to get athletes. You know what I mean? You might have to get the garbage dude now. And what's wrong with that? He's a regular dude. He got benefits. He can get your kids glasses. You know what I mean? But that's where we're at.
But the image of the garbage man is not the same.
Yeah, it's nothing glamorous about it.
Yeah, it's not the same.
But meanwhile, when he gets a prescription, there's no co-pays only like $20. That's not bad. That's not bad. You know what I mean? That's living.
Yeah, it's
You know?
living, but it ain't luxury living. It ain't
And that's
what
the problem.
Yeah, they want the
luxury.
They don't
And
have to work for
everybody
it.
doesn't have to live in luxury. Like, don't have
I
to.
mean, fortunately for a lot of the young ladies who want that, a lot of these guys are just having multiple kids for some reason. These guys are dropping more nuts than a clumsy squirrel. I mean, I've never seen.
Yeah.
I've never seen guys who want so many kids from so many different women. You know what I mean?
I think it's easy because if you really had to sit with 10 children all day every day, you would not do
Ooh,
it.
yeah.
You wouldn't do
point.
it.
Good point.
If it was just you and this all happened to you and you had all them 10 kids came to you every single day, that would be the last thing you're thinking of. It's easy when I say, okay, I can go to your house, and I'll go to your house. But if they had to sit there the whole 10 kids, no, it wouldn't be happening.
That's a good
It
point.
would not be happening.
If they had to give birth to
Come
10
on,
kids,
there it is.
that would never
No,
happen.
nope.
And here's how much the game has changed. Now you bring them all over to the house. You usually met your kids at the funeral. Like when you died, they all
Yeah, but
showed
everybody
up.
know each other.
Yeah, it's
all
like
cool.
it's like one big family now.
Well, check this out. I'm gonna
You got like 6 cars pulled up.
I'm gonna give you this perspective real quick. I'm gonna give you this.
All
One.
right.
This is because some of that is definitely true. A lot of it is true. The other perspective is the image of being that is what sells, and the image of that is what you see a lot of in school. Not necessarily being that the person is exactly what they're showing. It's just the idea of looking that
true.
way. So it's like.
True.
Like, and even though you got, Nicki Minaj that they're talking about, what ass, pussy, or whatever it is, so on and so forth, right? A lot of girls, like, they go out, they're dressed in a certain way, they're acting a certain way, but when it comes down to it, they're still not even that girl to even be getting caught up in that stuff. So I see a lot of that in the school that, it's like, I see that you ain't really that girl, but you're really putting it off like you are, and that's why you're getting the attention that you're getting. And it's only because that's what you're seeing so much of, that's what you're supposed to look like versus, getting attention because you have, clothing on. Like people talk. I have this thing about Lizzo where people say like, oh, she's just trying to show because she's full figured that you just have a problem with that. I said, well, check this out. I don't think Beyonce is nearly as big as Lizzo, but I still don't think that her whole image has to be being mostly naked most of the time, and she can still dance with a full suit on or something, and still perform and sing and everything. And I still,
Well, I agree with you.
You know what I'm
This is a
saying?
mother of three. I agree with you.
you know what I'm saying?
No, people didn't like Rihanna's outfit. You know the first thing I thought about when I saw Rihanna's outfit? Honestly, this is what came to my head. I said, she's covered up.
She's a mom. She's covered.
She's covered up.
What you want?
I was like, that was my first impression.
No, she should have came out there half naked. And that's what, and I'm just like, no. Like I remember my child saying to me, my oldest, when she went to her, I think it was her prom, or it might have been actually, I think it was dance before that. But either way, she just felt like she was overdressed because she had a beautiful gown on. If she looked elegant, she looked very much like an African queen. But she was like, these girls didn't have nothing on. Like they basically had like a wrap on with some high heels. And I'm like, okay, but that's what's being portrayed out there. That's what Nicki Alden promote. This is what you got to be if you're trying to get, and then it's the guys you're trying to get. So then you look at the guys you're supposed to be getting, not the one that's going to work, not the one that's getting up 6:45, 6:30 in the morning. You have to be the guy with the locks and the gold and everything with the money wad and all this stuff. And it's not about how you got it, whatever it is. So you have all these people out here perping and trying to act like that, and they really ain't got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, but in their defense, that is what.
It ain't their fault.
Right.
It ain't their fault.
And that is what that generation of guys is going after.
That's what we're going.
Right.
Because as much
what they want, though.
As much as we're talking smack about the women, but it's like, look, we forgot to show them like, oh yeah, so we might be able to take the trash out a couple times. You know what I'm saying? We might be able to there's guys out here taking the trash out. There's guys out here who ain't mowing the lawn. There's guys out here who ain't even putting on the face of I can open a door for you when you holding something.
They're doing the minute.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're not even. You know what I'm saying? It's to the point now where it's like, okay, I get it, honey, because we're not even showing you the men that you're supposed to be seeing. We're showing you these other people. We're showing you T.I. We're showing you, we're showing, I got money, but I'm still acting ratchet.
No, that's true.
I'm still being ratchet.
Just to. Because if I had all the money they had, you wouldn't even see me. I'd be in my back pool all the time.
That's why I give it to Jay-Z on a certain level, because it's like, look, the man that made money, Dre, Ben that made money, you don't see them out there trying to be like,
you don't see them taking the water money, putting it up in their ear.
Or they're like J. Cole, who still rides his bike.
Yes.
Yeah. Wears his Crocs. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All this new stuff going on. It's like, T.I., you supposed to act like the person you say. If you want to try to use big words, all the time, you know what I'm saying? Then I need you to act. I need you to be on that level. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop.
The way he tries to do that.
Expeditiously. As soon as he says that, we just find out about this. I'm finna do this. I was like, dang, dude. Like, what's is it, bro?
Like this country intellectual. You know what I mean?
I'd like you to pass those funds over to me expeditiously. I noticed you were perspiring over there. And I was wondering what kind of antiperspirant you were using.